Exactly as I predicted. Alex Becker mentioned 4 tokens from my yesterday video. If you would have watched it yesterday, you would make from 20% to 50% on your money. Welcome back. My name is Stan. I'm the CEO and co-founder of international custom software development company. We build software for the city of New York, SAP, and General Electric. I've done more than $15 million in custom software sales, and on this channel, I'm sharing my journey on turning $500,000 in crypto into 10 million. In this video, we'll go through the tokens that Alex mentioned yesterday, why they did not pump much as expected in the first place. But essentially, if you were subscribed to this channel yesterday, and if you would check out the video that I've published yesterday, you would make from 20 to 50% on your money. I'm in a bunch of crypto communities. I have Neo Tokyo, I have Bitcoin Frogs, I have 4,000 NFTs, I have 8,000 NFTs, I have 15,000 NFTs, I have 30,000 NFTs. I have access to a bunch of the communities and bunch of people. I'm also paying from $400 to $800 a month for access to different discords and different communities. Through this channel, you can actually get access to all of these alpha that I'm basically sharing for free on this channel. I don't know why are you not subscribed and why you can't just put a like on this video. Focus, because if you want to make money in this market, you have to focus. So in terms of the yesterday video of Alex, it's quite interesting by itself because a lot of people, they thought that he would publish on Saturday, and actually yesterday after I've published the video, I found out that he was tweeting that he would be publishing on Saturday. But I vividly remember that in one of the comments, he mentioned that video would come on Sunday, 11:30 a.m. EST, which basically happened yesterday. And in terms of the tokens that I've mentioned in the previous video, I actually got 4 of them right. I'm counting Polker as well, despite the fact that I didn't mention it in the video. I just didn't think that he would mention 2 million market cap token, but he mentioned it, which is quite interesting by itself. So we got right on blockchain bets, on Vpp Polker, on Crown, which is kind of a new D-race on Solana in this cycle, and we got right on Polker. And the reason I got these things right is because I basically have access to these communities. I'm in Neo Tokyo, so I know what people are discussing there, what type of tokens they're focusing on. I know what type of things Alex is investing himself from the last bull market, what projects he like and things like that. So it's a very important thing that you would like and subscribe to this channel and actually check out the video fully, because I will be sharing some alpha about these tokens and in general about the market. Question you might have is why these tokens that did not pump much, and should you sell currently? Like, what should you do if you bought the top or if you basically bought it the yesterday video? So in terms of all of these tokens, right? Video came out around 12 p.m. my time yesterday. So basically, if you would be buying at that levels, you are up around 10% currently on blockchain bets. If you were buying Crown at 12 p.m., you basically up around 10% as well currently. In terms of the Vpp Polker, if you were buying around the video, you are up 40 to 50% at the highs. Currently, it's a little bit lower. And in terms of the Polker, you're actually up 10 to 20%. So the main thing is like top crypto gaming YouTuber with 1.3 million subscribers, and the guy who is constantly pumping certain tokens and a lot of people are following him. The tokens that he mentioned, they did not pump much. Why is that? Should you sell? Is this all a scam? And what if they would essentially not pump moving forward as well? So one of the things I think is connected with the fact that video was published at night time in European time zone and essentially Asian time zone as well. So it only has 100,000 views at this stage. And if we would check other videos of Alex, we would see that a lot of them, they essentially reached 360k views, 400k views and things like that. So it's quite interesting by itself. I think there is definitely some pump that might happen moving forward in terms of these tokens, just because of the fact that it's only 100,000 views at this stage in terms of these tokens. But it's very, very important to understand what is the type of market that we're playing currently and how things will be moving forward. So basically right now we're still in PvP scenario because the market cap of the whole market didn't change much. So it's still around 1.7 trillion in terms of all of the crypto market. Therefore, there are not a lot of new capital that is essentially flowing into the market. There are just players basically shifting funds from one narrative to another, trying to overrun each other, and basically just the people who are more confident and have more experience, they're taking money out of the guys that are buying the top and are basically less experienced on the market and less confident in the picks that they're making as well. This is one of the things that is happening. And it's kind of interesting that tokens, they grow based on the expectations expectations. So the same thing we saw with the Bitcoin ETF, because BTC basically grew to 48, 49K and then it went down to 42, which is kind of at the stage where we are at. And the same thing is happening with these tokens as well. One of the great theses that I have is I don't think that these tokens would be pumping much until we would see the alt season. And as the last resort, as the whole, like the most bullish factor, I think they will be pumping the most once we would basically see a huge inflow of capital into the crypto market. That would only happen with the introduction of the retail into the market as well. And this is only happening once we basically see BTC reaching previous all-time highs, because that's something that was happening in the previous cycle. In 2017, retail started to talk about BTC once it reached 20K. In 2020, retail started to talk about BTC when it basically started to reach around 60K, 40, 60K and things like that. So I believe in our case, we would only start to see inflows of retail money once BTC would around in the range of 68, 69K, which is all-time high of the previous cycle. I think this is where it will heavily hit the news and essentially go up. So whether you should hold or sell these tokens, I think most of intellectual money, they actually bought them previously. So they bought them before, because like the first video I've made, I think it was around 1.5 months ago, like 45 weeks ago, in terms of buying these tokens, essentially holding them. But the main thesis actually stays the same, because if Alex is mentioning these tokens, that means that he would be mentioning these tokens through the whole bull run, through the whole amount of his videos that he would be doing on a weekly basis, essentially. Therefore, he will bumping them higher. At the same time, he knows the teams, he's invested, and I assume that the guy that has more than $100 million, he's not investing in some shit, in some things that are just scams and then not growing, things like that. So I view these tokens, especially Vpp and Polker, as essentially blue chips that you can get currently at the low market cap. And I think if you would be able to buy Vpp and Polker and hold them through the whole bull market, you will be heavily compensated for the time that you were actually holding these tokens as well. Because there is a fact that the guy would be mentioning them through the whole market. Therefore, he would be essentially pumping them moving forward as well. I think it also might be due to the fact that a lot of people, they do expect the market to dump currently, although I'm expecting that we should see the alt season, we should see the pump to 44, 45K in a small alt season, and then basically we should see the dump. So I think some people, most of the people, they're not buying these tokens currently at this stage because of the fact that they do also expect for the market to go down, that therefore they would understand that they will be able to get better prices. No one knows if this would basically happen. I do expect the dump, and I do expect to heavily inject funds into the market once we would see around 35, 38K. But I'm still holding all of my positions currently. I'm not planning to sell, and it's basically a long-term hold from my point of view. So I do plan to hold until the end of this year, until the fully fledged bull market. I think the tokens that Alex has mentioned himself are very, very nice hold, as with the inflows of retail into the market, he would definitely continue mentioning them. Therefore, they will definitely continue pumping as well. So it's just a very, very nice thesis and very, very nice thing from this point of view in terms of what will happen with these tokens, what will happen with the market, and how I view the whole thing. So this is it about the video. Let me know in the comments if you agree or not. I would be interested to see if we were getting analysis and if these things we would be pumping moving forward as well, because more and more people would actually be checking out the video currently, and I think it will get more views, therefore more exposure to capital as well. Like and subscribe if you like the content, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.